sustainable. And that's, I think, the exciting part.
Yeah, no, well, that goes back to one of those wonderful things about, the Salesforce platform in itself is it really can fit any business or organizational process, right? Vlad, you'll see later, there was a commercial I ended up doing with that Salesforce flew me out to LA for when we're doing the Kahoot game. And it was to keep track of a race team, right? So like you literally can do any process as long as you understand the tools that are available to you on the platform.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So just an FYI, we are on YouTube Live. We actually have 6 people that are on there now. So welcome to the 6 of y'all. Definitely early risers. We had about 51 or so that ended up RSVPing. So we'll give it a good 10, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. And around 6, see, we're already up to 8 now. And around 6:45. We'll have Vlad kick us off, and I guess I'll start with an introduction to everyone, just for anyone new. Yeah, and then we'll kind of Charlie Mike from there.
Perfect. I'll put myself on mute. I'm gonna give the heads up to my wife because it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Just give her a time reference, and I'll see you. I'll be on a little bit before for the intro. Before my time at 6:45. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, man. Hey, also, if you wanted to stay, you're more than welcome, and we can keep chatting. Just it was partially that was a PSA for the 7 folks that are online. So
okay, perfect. I'll just shoot her a text then.
Unfortunately, being sick, I'm not much conversation.
Yeah, no, save that energy. Save that energy. Drink that water. Use that mouth, for the water going in. Don't let the water go out. Yeah, there you go. Water. Kamatchi, you drink water too? I see everyone's a plain water drinker. Are you a tea drinker? I'm a tea drinker myself.
I do have water.
You have water? Okay, good. Do you drink teas?
Yeah, of course. But not now.
Of course. Ooh, look at that swag. Wow. Salesforce, are you showing that off? Is that for the quiz winner? Why are you showing that off for? No, that you gotta, that's a big trophy right there.
Don, how did you get into Salesforce?
Well, he's getting that. I can show off my own trophy cups right here. So right here, I got a Trailhead mug.
There we go.
Right, with a pug. So this way, you have a pug in a mug, or pup in a cup, however you prefer. I prefer the pug mug cup. So maybe a tongue twister. I should have done that before to warm up on stage.
That works, man.
So I admittedly don't have any Salesforce swag. How do I get some?
Ooh.
That's a great question that I can probably help you out with.
Yeah, for being a speaker, yeah, definitely. We'll see if we could get together. Maybe I don't know if we have any.
Send me an email either later tonight or tomorrow morning.
Awesome, we'll do.
I also have a lot of VetForce or Salesforce military as well. So, and that goes into answering your question you asked like 20 minutes ago. Before the whole coughing fit started. So I actually spent over 13 years between the Air Force and the Army. And Salesforce, of course, man. And Salesforce has a program it used to be called VetForce, now it's Salesforce Military. And it's basically they take military veterans and actually their spouses as well, and provide pretty much unlimited free training and certifications and stuff like that for them. And then there's like a huge community behind it, and which I actually mentor fellow veterans now, and help them get their first job and all that kind of fun stuff.
Awesome. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah, it was a good time. I was literally one of the very first graduates of the program. So this was like before Trailhead and stuff like that. So there wasn't a whole lot of stuff other than the Salesforce University, or now Trailhead University, the $4,500 classes that were basically available to us, and it was actually pretty cool how they did it. So it was free for us being vets, and they basically took the 1 week admin class and split it up into 2 weeks with 2 different instructors to make sure that we got like a whole overview of that actual class in a very thorough version of it. And the awesome part about that was it was actually Leah McGowan Hare, who's now like the VP of Trailhead or something like that. She was one of the ones, so she was our first instructor. And then for those of y'all that are into .org or NPSP, Garrett Farwell was actually the other instructor. Now he's like one of the senior SEs, as he decided to move from like the instructor area to working with customers.
Wow. You know, they say the best teachers are students. So congratulations on helping raise those teachers.
Yeah, no, they're both they're amazing. So I definitely it was a good experience learning from both of them.
That's awesome. Don, are you here? You're here in the Valley, right?
Yeah, I live 1.8 miles from Luke Air Force Base over in Litchfield Park, like Killaback.
Oh, way West Valley.
Yep. So MST Solutions is over in Chandler. So when I do go to the office, I literally got to drive all the way across.
Oh, gosh, dude, I used to have to drive to Goodyear Park twice a day, 4 days a week.
I'm very thankful in I don't know what the word is. Like I said, I still have this sickness, but very appreciative of the situation I have. I work from home most of the time, so
Good for you. Jason, you're here in the Valley too, right?
I am. I'm in like Ahwatukee, so like south.
Yep. I lived in Ahwatukee for a little while.
Yeah, it's nice because you know I came here originally. I was working at Arizona State and studying there, so not too far from there. I like the location, being able to go all different parts of the valley. As long as it's like not North Valley, then it stretches so far.
And then Kamatchi is part of our amazing offshore team.
Awesome.
So I forget, Kamatchi, are you in Trichy or Chennai?
I am in Chennai.
Okay.
Donald.
Cool.
Wait, did you say you're in Chiang Mai?
No,
I started from Trichy 8 years back. From when MST started, I have been here. Yeah.
Awesome. And I think Jason told me a little bit about your presentation. You're going to be doing something a little more technical. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
The experience.
Yeah. Experience Cloud.
Or Experience Cloud. Okay. Be a good time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to learning something.
Exactly. Something for everyone. And Vlad, where are you in the valley? Are you like north, south, east, west?
So I'm in North Phoenix, right off of 17 and Pinnacle Peak.
Well, it's like so like north of the 101.
Yeah, just Donald. How many people we got? What's the body count?
we are up to 12 at the moment.
Okay,
And
right.
all 12 of you, thank you very much for being here.
ETA is 5 minutes.
And as I immediately, as soon as I answered that question, we got one more, so even better.
Is this going to be recorded?
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is basically we present on the Zoom side, and then I record it, and then it's streaming to YouTube Live. But what I end up doing after the meeting, or sometimes Friday mornings, is I'll actually take this recording that we're doing right now on the Zoom side, edit it out so it cuts off like the first half hour or so while I'm getting things set up, as well as the last bit of it. And then I basically repost that up to YouTube, and there's like a whole playlist. So if anyone misses one of our meetings, they can actually go back, like for instance, say they want to learn more about the getting into the industry, for instance, in this episode, or about Experience Cloud, aka communities. They can basically go back onto the YouTube playlist and view that whole episode.
Can you, after this meeting, like sometime whenever you get a chance, send me a link to one of the videos so I can see the series?
Yeah.
I got to cook dinner after this, so I do want to listen to the rest of the presentation. But if you could send me a link to that, that would be hugely appreciated.
I would be more than happy to, man. Actually, I'll send you the chat right now.
I'd also be interested in looking through that library, because I'm pretty sure there's nuggets in there that I could use and I have questions about, and those already answer it for me.
Yeah, definitely. There's some cool pieces about like customer report types and stuff like that on last month's episode. So.
And if there's ever any topics you're interested in, this is also for our chat pack. I don't know if that's officially their name, but I like it now, our chat pack. So any topics, anything, you can feel free to comment there. You could reach out to me, Jason Zyko. It's pretty easy to find. There's many Jay-Z's, but only one of me. So my dad's also a Jay-Z. So what?
Is this Donald's channel, Corporate Grunt? Yes.
Awesome. You have a new subscriber.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff in the automotive scene as well. So it's kind of, it's basically split between Salesforce and the automotive scene.
Perfect.
And that's one of the things why I like YouTube so much, because you can actually set up playlists. So that way people, if they don't want to, they don't care about cars and, performance parts and stuff like that, they can just, watch this one particular playlist and just do Salesforce stuff, or vice versa.
Yeah, and I guess it's like, so preview for next month. So stay tuned, we'll be posting next month's, but the pending date is going to be also the second Thursday of the month, whether it's earlier or later, we're still working out, because previous times have been 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. This time it's 6:30, so that we could be able to be more accommodating for Kamatchi coming in from India Standard Time, IST, I guess it's what it stands for, but her time in India, so we can make sure that we don't start at 3:30, which will be her 4 a.m. But we'll see, like this 6:30 time might work out well, but then also for people on the East Coast, it's later for them. So we'll see. Our meeting next month, March 11th, we'll actually have an East Coast co-presenter. I'll be one of the presenters. So I'll be, the theme this month with Kamatchi and Vlad is about the right now around Valentine's Day. So how can we make it love themed? So how to have love at first sight as a Salesforce first hire, which will be Vlad's story. And Kamatchi's presentation will be about Experience Cloud, because where there's family, there's love. We're gonna get to be able to share how to create a community now, Experience Cloud, and how to be able to easily create that by bringing metadata over through the Experience bundle. So she's going to talk more about how to build Experience Cloud. Next month will be for the theme, we'll call it March Methods instead of March Madness. So we can have March Methods. And I'll be sharing my journey, my methods of networking to get work. The full title is How to Network to Get Work with Less than Expected Effort. We'll cover how to succeed in business without really trying, for any musical geeks out there. and then the co-presenter is going to be presenting on science and let's see, excuse me. The co-presenter is coming from the East Coast as Carmel and James. So she is a Salesforce consultant who used to be a scientist. And so she'll talk about how she approaches consulting as a scientist to be able to analyze and experiment for success. And so that's really fascinating. So that's where, I don't want to call it March Madness. We don't want a mad scientist. We want the scientific method. So March methods.
Very true, Jason. And thank you for that. Say again, what?
We might want a mad scientist.
Right, that could definitely be entertaining as well. So thank you all to everyone that has actually made it here. It is now 6:45 or 18:45, and so we're actually going to start kicking this off. For those of y'all that don't know, I am Donald Borish. Essentially, myself and Jason are the two co-leaders here for the Phoenix Salesforce User Admin Group. Obviously, I'm a graduate of the VetForce program, so Salesforce military. So that's kind of my background and how I got into Salesforce. Yeah, Jason, like you said, you start off over at ASU and all that. And we have two amazing presenters tonight. So the first one that we're going to feature here is Vlad, and he's essentially going to talk about being the company's first Salesforce hire and kind of the amazing steps that he took to get to that position. And then we also have Kamatchi from the MST Solutions team. She's going to be covering what a lot of us know as Salesforce Communities, but essentially, excuse me, essentially the Experience Cloud. And I do apologize. I'm going to be on mute for a large portion of this, pretty much until we get to the next presenter, just as another reintroduction. And then for the Kahoot game, so I'm still getting over being sick. So again, thank you all for being here. And Vlad, take it away, man.
Donald, Jason, thank you. So I'm going to talk about my journey from transitioning from a salesperson in the software industry and a business owner to in the Salesforce community. I had made the decision to transfer over to something technical after I got bought out from my business. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be something closer to a developer than what I was. And I ended up on Salesforce because of my previous business acumen. Got my platform app builder certificate during the COVID layoffs, and I got hired on at 4Energy. So I didn't have any experience as a Salesforce administrator. And one of the questions that have come up a lot is, how do you get your first job? For me, I've been in the industry or in sales for quite a few years. So I got to rely on past business acumen to help me have that experience. But also I did a lot of the trailhead courses. I think I got like 50 badges and 6 super badges. That's important because even if your employer doesn't know or doesn't ask you about that, it builds confidence, right? Because it gives you the ability to solve a real business problem, not just do a specific task that might be something small in a much bigger picture. It gives you the whole picture of what that business is trying to accomplish, gives you the skill and the confidence to do it. Now, I applied at a ton of jobs, and this is during COVID. I mean, I started in July, if that gives you any indication. Nobody was hiring. So I probably shot my resume off 50, 100 times, something ridiculous, right? And Sean, who's the founder of 4Energy, actually has a mutual acquaintance of mine. So I hit my old college buddy up, who he and I still have a really good relationship. And I asked him, hey, help me get this job. So I guess one of the lessons from there is if you do good work along the way, like it's going to pay back. Like if I didn't have integrity working with our mutual friend Abel, it probably wouldn't have wanted me to get hired here, and I wouldn't have had this job. So that worked out. I got super lucky. Once I got the job, not only was this my first technical job, it's also their first Salesforce hire. So, I mean, it's just like a match made, right? The first thing I did was I built a map. So their data was all over the place. It's exactly what you would think if you were to get hired onto a company that's had Salesforce for 3 years and that hasn't had an administrator or a developer or anyone technical working on it, right? So first thing I did is I built a map, which is pretty much like a life cycle of all of their data points. So where does data come in and what does it go through? Like where's the ball drop, right? So what's nice about that is we can paint a map on what we need to do to where we got to go. Also, after I don't work there anymore, if anybody else comes into my position, they're able to study that map, see how the company data flows, and that'll help them understand where they should divert most of their attention. That was the first big thing I did. The other thing that helped me a lot is I really listened, and I do my best to to put myself in the shoes of the people that I'm serving, right? So I'm serving, my direct boss, who's the founder of the company, but also different leaders and departments, right? So there's call center, there's accounting, there's fulfillment, project management, inventory, and the biggest thing that helps me is literally just sitting with them and watching them do their jobs and just asking them some basic questions throughout that process. Because what you'll find is if you just learn a process, a lot of times that process will obviously not make sense to you. You might think of, okay, there's a better way you can do that. But what you don't know is there's a reason why that person does that. People are logical, and that person is logical. That person whose process you're trying to fix, if you don't understand why they're doing it the way they are, your solution will probably not go well. So sitting with these people that you're serving and really empathizing with their struggles and how you can make their job better, that's really gone a long way with me. Big thing I want to touch on is when you're in this role, your opportunity to move somewhere else is really endless, right? Because you hold the source of truth. So you know where the data flows, the reporting. I look at numbers cross departments more than probably any other person, right? And one of the other tasks that I'm doing is I'm managing all of our online lead gen. The beauty of that is it gives me more responsibility, comes with a pay bump, comes with a better title, and really just an overall better career path. So something that, I don't know if this is common in the industry, but being pragmatic on how you can help that business move forward is super crucial. Because you see the gaps, right? Like if you live in Salesforce, you see the reports, you see the processes, where's there something missing? Where's money leaking, right? And you have the ability to close it. So I think something that's really helped me is being pragmatic with how to do that. And in this case, I venture a little off of what I got trained to do, which is Salesforce, but it still comes down to helping your business grow and, being that good hire that they can trust you. And I mean, really the end goal for all of us is to make more money, right? Today, I'm in the process of becoming the director of technology and online lead gen for my company. We're actually having a meeting about that tomorrow. And I'm presenting really the game plan of what my thoughts on how we need to get there and what our goals are. So it really is the type of position that you can build your own ticket, right? I think the three keys are: A, be pragmatic with the position that you're in and how you can help the business, empathize with the people that you are helping. And if you're like me, if this isn't your first job, right? Like I'm 33 when I started this, rely on your previous business acumen. That has value in what you do.
Thank you, Vlad. Do you want some questions then, or is there more?
No, right now, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. Errol, thank you. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, put that on YouTube. I've been making some notes that, I love the summary you put there at the end, the key skills, be pragmatic for thinking of solutions and strategies for those solutions. Right, exactly. To bring in money, to save money, to meet regulations, to be able to compliance, so be able to know what the business case is, growth for lead generation, efficiency for lead, from lead to customer, and the customer management for referrals, compliance for business operations. So being able to think what that goal is, and then being able to bring your understand. I think you bring a great balance of being experienced, but also being a good listener. Because sometimes being experienced can cause you to be a bad listener. You could be a shrewd listener. You can think, okay, I know the solution. I know more I know more problems that you have. You don't even know you have. But instead, you come in and say, okay, these people, they're in this role for a reason. They know things that I don't. Let me understand why they're doing things this way.
Yeah, and they're doing the most logical thing for them, right? And if you don't know why, you need to find out.
And did you find like any for passively and participatorily, to passively and actively monitor and engage and find out? Was it pretty like just direct? What different? Because this is like going into now business analysis, which I'm also interested in myself.
A big part of that is just going out and hanging out in their office. Honestly, you just say, hey, do you mind if I hang out here for a bit? And an example is our call center, right? So I do that multiple days a week. In the mornings, I'll go there, I'll hang out, I'll listen to calls, I'll look at our manager, Ron, see what he's doing. And I'll ask questions, right? So I'll ask questions like, hey, what are you doing with this call? And I'll give you an example. The last thing that I found was our call center did not have the ability to prioritize quality leads. So I'll give you an example. They'll go on a campaign, right? And we have a 5.9 integration, but this campaign was in Salesforce, and this campaign might have 1,000 marketing opportunities, and 100 of them are really good. 200 of them are maybe okay, and 700 are not that great. They're just fillers, right? And I created campaigns for them to be able to focus on calling each of those tiers, whereas before one person might call 700 of those marketing opportunities in a week, but only 60 of them were the really good leads. And we let 40 of those really good leads get old and stale. And that's, I mean, you're wasting company money. Our business is like 30, 40 full-time employees plus contractors. Dude, if you're a business of 30, 40 employees, you cannot afford to be throwing money away like, a 100 or 2 or 300 person business. It's a different ballgame. So I created those campaigns to make sure, hey, we're never going to let those really high quality marketing opportunities get old. And guess what? We're also not going to let the okay ones get old either. We're going to do those first, and then we're going to fill our time with calling the ones that aren't that great, right? With the lowest conversions are last. But that I only would have been able to find that out by sitting there, because they didn't know that. They didn't know that was a capability. And it's something, it was a pretty easy change. It probably took me 15, 20 minutes to get in there and figure it out. But it's an immediate increase in revenue of the company.
Right. Now, did you know about this beforehand to be able to come on to get this to become their first hire? Because it was mutual. Not only were you their first hire, but you were also this was your first Salesforce job. But you come in with a lot of confidence and already that acumen that you call it to be able to help with business solutions through technology.
So you do get the imposter syndrome, right? The way you overcome that is you look back at problems you have solved, right? So you've done something in your career, right? It's not nothing. Even if it's your first job, right? Like, did you have a job in college or high school before that, or what's accomplishment you had in school? Like, there's something that you've done that will build your confidence going into this, right? So that's one thing to get over the imposter syndrome. The other thing is, when they hired me, they knew some problems that they had, but they didn't know other problems that they had. They didn't know most of the problems they had, to be honest. And that's normal, right? Like, if you're their first hire, like, they know they have problems. That's a part of your job to find them out. Doing the Salesforce courses, the Trailhead badges, that really gave me enough technical skill to build the problems that they at least knew of, right? Because it's like reporting, right? I mean, that's those easy workflows, process builders. Maybe it's not easy, but it's definitely not rocket science, right? So the beauty of being an admin or not being a developer is really you could not know the solution at all, and it's pretty easy to find out, right? It's like a Google search away. So knowing that gave me enough confidence about my technical abilities. Outside of that, really, it's a lot of soft skill and showing people you care about them, right? Like, people care about people that care for them, right? So we've implemented probably every solution, actually all but one solution that I've ever presented has been implemented, and I get no resistance anymore. Because they know I care about them. I spent that time, I asked these questions to understand and to put myself in their shoes. And I know this is supposed to be a technical group, right? We're Salesforce, this and that, but dude, you're people to people. You're servicing people. And one thing that I find that probably your biggest role in this job is to give people a sense of ease that the technology is going to be taken care of. But if there's a problem, if Salesforce blows up or if a report blows up, they know that I'm just going to take care of it. They're not freaking out.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you're able to be that person with the ownership for that. And what I'm interested in is because you do care. So this is now segue for what I've been doing I've been doing informational interviews that draw out 3 I's: interest, insights, and introductions. So interest, what drew you to Salesforce? Being able to what drew you to Salesforce, that interest to care for the business? Why do you care? Focus on that first.
Care for Salesforce or the business that I work for?
Both. Like, yeah, why do you care for the business, and why do you care that Salesforce, why is there a care that Salesforce could be a solution?
Yeah, so start with what drew me to Salesforce is I've always enjoyed building things. Like in high school, I took the 2 developer courses, like the junior developer courses that we had. So it's something that's been an interest of mine. Little backstory, I started and got bought out from a business. In that business, I had built our solutions. We didn't use Salesforce, but I used a ton of different software. And I had built those systems from scratch, like pieced them together because I had no budget in the beginning. And that kind of revived my, I guess my passion for that, because when it's working, like your life is just so much easier and it's way better. And when it's not, it's a nightmare, right? So it's something that's really when I decided, okay, once this is all over, this is the direction I want to go. And I still got like a sales job after that again to make money because I didn't want to live off my savings. But that's really what sparked that journey again. And what made me go to Salesforce is really that's where I'm going to be most effective, right? It's not like if I'm a developer, I'm just coding and I code whatever I'm told, like whatever solution I'm told to implement, I do that. Whereas with this, it's a lot more open, and I don't know, I guess I'm just resting. I get to use my previous experience as a strength in this more so than anything else that I found.
Excellent.
I mean, as far as why I care about the business, I mean, I know we have 35 full-time employees, probably another 30 independent contractors that all support, families at home. I get to come in as the hero that makes their jobs easier, makes the business grow. I offer security to let them know that, hey, like this is going to be okay. We're able to scale. So, the solution that I bring, all about, as simple as it is, allows the business a little more breathing room in the future. And I don't know, I just have a natural empathy to that, right?
Yeah, like you said before, person to person business.
Yeah, you go in and you manage all the technology that 30-something people use to feed their kids every day, and you get to know these people, and you develop relationships with these people. A part of you is going to care.
And so for also people here, we have a couple of questions from the chat. One of them is, as a recent college grad with little professional work experience, what are some other ways to get experience to help land a Salesforce related role?
Dude, get any job. Like if it's technical, great. You can get a CRM administrator role. You can get any job that works on a computer is a plus. But if you never had a job, get a job, because then you can show your employer that you can show up on time, right? You can finish whatever responsibilities were put on you by your employer. And if you don't get a technical job that's working on a computer or some kind of techie job, then what I would do is there's like a freelance site. It used to be called Odesk. I forgot what it is.
There's like Upwork and all different kinds like that.
Get on Upwork, get on Fiverr. Like do work. Like if someone wants to pay you $10 an hour, do that job so you can show it's done. And the other thing I'll tell you, get the badges done, right? So the badges, not every employer is going to want to look at that, but some do, and it shows them that you can do the technical work. And I guess, if you've gone to college, rely on your network. Like you go to, you don't, the biggest reason you should go to college, or the biggest benefit of going to college, is to have a network, right? Like, I don't use a thing that I learned in college. I think most people don't use a thing in college. And if you are, you would have learned that thing even if you didn't go to college. So utilize that network of people that you built during your time there. But yeah, so to summarize it, use your network, get a job, any job, ideally a technical job, but become gainfully employed. And lastly, get whatever work you can, if you're not already in a technical job, by utilizing Fiverr, Upwork, and even pro bono stuff.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that here, I'm going to put in the chat a link to Mike Wheeler's podcast, where in episodes 10 and 11, he talks about 10 app ideas for you to get experience, because there is a gap where you volunteer to get experience, but to even volunteer, you need experience. So it's just like a loop that doesn't have a point in. And so Mike Wheeler says, just create apps where you are. I mean, Salesforce is so great that they just offer the playground of their product. So you can be able to build an app for, I know someone who got a job because he made a YouTube video of him building an app to manage movie universes, of being able to show, okay, well, these are these movie sequels, and it has this character that goes into this movie universe of the Indiana Jones movie. And so just being able to show relationships and showing how you understand that helps build trust. And just being able to have proof of work, build that portfolio, either on the business side, even though Vlad, you aren't technically in solar business, but you are in business. So being able to have that understanding, that generally can be applied. So being able to understand your transferable skills and your portfolio of work, because you want to think of it's a person-to-person business. Your work is a business. So are you going to buy from a company who just says, hey, I can do this, never have before, but you want to see proof of work. You want to see testimonials. You want to be able to see the work in action. You want to see it related so that you can be able to make it easy. Customer service is making making things obvious to the oblivious. And so the oblivious are your customers, your prospects, you. That's why we have a CRM, a database, to make things easy for you. And so you want to make it obvious to them why they should hire you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Don, you mentioned there was a second question in YouTube. I didn't see a second question in there. What's the other question?
Yeah, so it was actually a follow-up to that first one, and from Bill. So you guys have partially touched on it already, but essentially what he was saying was he's looked into pro bono work for nonprofits, but like you said, you have to have experience to get onto some of those apps and stuff like that help give us experience through pro bono work. But the other problem with that, or the other kind of concept around there, which I believe Doug C. also mentioned, was you have to be careful in kind of what are some ways to go and help nonprofits pro bono without actually causing any damage to their org, right? Kind of like what kind of things would you keep in mind, and how would you position yourself in there so that way you can help them and get that experience, but then at the same time you make sure that you, well, for one, you get over the scary concept of, well, I'm new and I don't want to hurt anything. But also just make sure that you actually follow through in practice with that.
So even a nonprofit that hires you for pro bono work, they're not going to put you in a position to break anything. I don't think they're going to hire you being the only technical person if it's going to be an unpaid internship, right? So first, understanding these people know their business better than you do. They're not going to put a total noob in a position to destroy their business. So we can rest on that, right? Like, let's we don't have to have the worst case scenario. And the other thing that I'm sensing is you might have, I mean, a little bit of an imposter syndrome is just the fact that's like your objection, right? I would probably focus on being more, I don't know how to become, how to teach someone to become more confident in what they do outside of doing more of it. So the more that you do, you know, as trivial as it might seem, the more badges you complete, honestly, even the more interviews that you do, just apply to jobs that you're underqualified for, because then you can actually see the level of problems that are being shown out there. And who knows, maybe like somebody will actually hire you and you won't have to do free work, right? And you can start your career right away. Like my job, they wanted 2-3 years of Salesforce experience. Didn't have that. So I think as long as you're comfortable enough to show that you can solve some basic problems that they have, because most of these people don't have super sophisticated problems. Most of them is just like, okay, dude, our reporting is really messed up. So if you have some analytical capabilities to be able to look at reporting and see what numbers mean what and why the numbers might not match and fix that pretty easily, like little things like that, little skill sets will go a long way. But don't worry about breaking somebody's system. Like they won't put you in that position. And if they do, I wouldn't work there.
And that goes into the second of those 3 I's. Interests we talked on, caring for being inventive. Sounds like, you know, you have that deep passion for building things and helping with business solutions as well, helping being not only being inventive, but also being of integrity. And the second I is insight, which is interesting because, you know, what do you know now that you wish you knew before when you started on this journey? I think is something interesting because your journey is like, it sounds really remarkable, but you know, being able to have confidence, knowing that you're always learning. What's one of those lessons that you've learned along the way?
So I had I guess the problems that I thought I would be solving, I thought they would be a lot harder than they are. Like when you're going through Trailhead, a lot of times you might be going through a super badge that looks super sophisticated. You know, the truth is the problems that you're solving are very, very simple. 90% of what you do is going to be super simple stuff. And that's okay. That's stuff that needs to get done. It moves the needle forward and it helps everybody out. But there's no, like, you're afraid of the monster under your bed that doesn't exist. And when you are doing something super sophisticated, like I've done integrations with GoForm, with Five9 call center. In my experience anyway, you have resources to help you, right? So you're not in uncharted territory. You're doing something that's been done a million times, and odds are there's resources out there to make it a lot easier than you probably think it is. So yeah, don't think you're going to be like thrown into the wolves of having to fix problems that you're not capable of, because that's probably not the case.
Very nice, very nice. And the last is introduction, which is like, what helps you learn? You mentioned Trailhead a lot. Is there, and you know, but you also mentioned soft skills. Is there like any podcast, books, thought leaders?
The only way you're going to learn soft skills is to practice them. I can give you 1,000,000 books. Doesn't matter. You want to learn soft skills? You know where I learned my soft skills? I paid my way through college by selling alarms door to door for 3 summers. If you do a job like that requires you to be able to influence someone's decision, you're going to learn all the soft skills you need. But really, even like a service job, if you're a waiter, waitress, do a job that forces to teach you those soft skills, and maybe read a book on top of that. or, you know, follow some thought leader in that space, but really doing it. And sorry, what was the other part of your question, Jason?
Well, no, it was an introduction. So yeah, what has been helpful for you? So it seems like, what can you introduce to people? Like, so what takeaway?
So the other thing is, again, I worked in a corporate environment. We were using Salesforce. I asked the other Salesforce guys. I also talked to the developers. I talked to the engineering team. I just went over there and networked with them, and they rarely ever got a sales guy coming over talking to them. So they were more than happy to spill the beans on whatever information that I needed. That really helped comfort me a lot because they gave me a realistic picture of what the future would hold.
Excellent. Great tip. Great tip. Thanks, Vlad. Don, do you have any, are there any other questions? Let's see. Do you have any other questions?
I do not have any as of right now. Just a couple of good comments and stuff from Brian, Rudy, Doug, Richa, and the other Bill. Yeah, no, it's been so Bill actually said, thank you, Vlad. Been working at a small health related startup. He was the one that asked the first two questions. You know, he's been working at a small health related startup where he does a lot of both technical and not technical tasks. And yeah, he basically accepted the offer right after getting his admin cert. So, but, he definitely wants to continue growing in the Salesforce ecosystem and is now working on his PD1.
Nice. If you guys know of anybody that might be looking to get into the space and maybe get their job, or, you know, they got their cert or working on getting their cert, feel free to shoot them over my way. And I mean, I'd be happy to give them a boost along their journey and get them going a little faster.
Excellent. And here, I'll share your article. So if you like Vlad's story, also check out his LinkedIn article. That's what sparked the idea of having him come on. He wrote an article on LinkedIn. Are you the first Salesforce hire at your company? So another great initiative he did. So if you liked Vlad's presentation, check out the article as well that it stemmed from. Give that a thumbs up. Little network boost. And there you can be able to connect to the author, presenter, the legend, Vlad.
Thanks, Jason.
Awesome. Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. So Kamatchi, hopefully you're still with us here.
Yes,
there we go.
I would like to share my screen and present.
Yes, please. Yeah, so and then start off with an introduction. Who are you? You know, kind of what are you doing, and how do you get here?
Yeah, this is Kamatchi. I'm being a developer in Salesforce with MST Solutions from being 8 years now, from now on. And I started my career in Salesforce, and I love the development at Salesforce. Like Lad said, a lot of live easier technologies are there in Salesforce. So one of the topic that we are going to see today that will make you more easier with a community portal that you can create for the public side, or even a user can access it through a portal kind of thing, like a customer portal or a partner portal. So let me share my screen quickly. So these are the things we are going to do today. My agenda are overview of the Experience Cloud and what are the license for the communities available for Salesforce, and prerequisite steps like how to register for a site or a community, enabling Experience Bundle, and what is the difference between Experience Bundle and previous site.com site, and a small demo with a sample community, retrieve, and how to deploy a community, and what is the importance of the dependent components. Okay, so one by one. So community will make you the digital experience platform. Like it will give you the customer 360-degree platform. where you can make your customer satisfied with wherever they go. They can use it in the mobile application or through desktop or whatever it is, right? It makes your life very easier to access the data connected through the portal or a site. So this is how we are going to do, like how we are going to build and launch is just to choose your template. You are going to create a portal now. Choose a template, customize your brand, add the components, connect the data and process, like whatever you're having in a database or object model and everything. So everything comes in a single just clicking time, right? So even not more customization, you can just have the more easier experience in developing the communities and launch your site. So okay, so now earlier we have the community cloud as the name, and now it is renamed as Experience Cloud from Spring 21. So that will give you more tools that you can develop, and some terminology and documentation on the Salesforce is also changed. Now you can see the experience in the name of digital experience and all sites. Earlier it was communities. Even when I'm showing demo, I can show you like how that earlier look will be looking like. And there are some licenses like type of communities. So do I need a community license in my org to give access to a community experience cloud sites? So here we go. Now, there are two types of access to the community, either authenticated or unauthenticated. So authenticated will have some license type you need to consider based on your requirement. And unauthenticated site may be a public site, anyone can access, right? So in an org, you can have up to 100 sites created as public sites. Even without community license, guest user can have some access. And purchasing license, you can do either member based or login based. So I mean, whether the user is logging in, and, how much user logging in, or just member based. And if you intend to use your Experience Cloud site as public knowledge, for example, you can just post your article, give it as a public site, and anyone can have access to that and utilize your articles. Right? That's one of the example. And you can also create some external profiles, permissions, and kind of things for the communities and provide it through the administrative setup. Let's see one by one. So these are the member-based license and login-based license available in Salesforce. So they are like community, customer community plus, and Lightning Experience App plus, and startup. So these are the sorry, these are the difference between the license. So if you take the customer community plus, right, you will have some extra advanced sharing permission, but whereas in customer community alone, not a plus, you will not have that external sharing model. Those are, we have so a few of those differences in the licenses. So what's your need? You need to decide like which community license you want to use. If you are decided something and later on you want to change it, you can just check with Salesforce admin and then change your license to. Okay, so these are the prerequisites to use your community. So first of all, you need to enable the community in your R and register for a community. So because your community is going, I mean, community or a digital experience is going to be a public site or external site, right? Authenticated site. So you need to register for the community. You need to search for a domain and then register your site for an org. Either the site is needed or not, but community, to use a community, you need to register for a community. Okay, so then your development is done, or arrangements are done, you are ready with your portal, you are going to publish. So you need to tag your site, right? So in order to deploy from your developer box to your production, you need to get the experience bundle metadata API settings to be enabled. So without this experience bundle metadata, you will not see the difference in your coding, or you cannot do the version control of whatever changes you are going to make. So now, earlier it was like site.com sites, it's not a human readable, you cannot track the community deployments, but now line by line you can track it. Even the branding setting or whatever we do, we can track it through the experience bundle. And more important thing is the dependent components, like whatever we develop in the community side, we will also connect some data or some other customization works, right? Some of our developments, maybe external things you can add it. So those things should be in your deployments. So this is more considerable while we doing the deployments. And so yeah, this is how your registration for a site will look like. Going to register for a site, you can just have a force.com site with registration. You need to check for the availability of the site domain and then register it. If you're going to register for a community, the same thing. You need to choose the domain and check for the availability, and that's it. You can enable your communities and then register for a community. And once you register for a community, you will see the setup like community setting. Now it is a digital experience. So you can go to that settings of the digital experience and enable the experience bundle metadata API. So it will look like this. And if why we are enabling it? Because we are bundling all this together, like the human readable formats like routes, views, branding sets, themes, config, everything. So whatever configuration there set or branding like themes and whatever you are doing customization, everything will be human readable now. If you don't do this, you will be ended up with these errors while doing the deployments. And creating a sample community. So deployment can be in different ways, right? Either not through Ant Builder, through the change set also you can do the deployment. So in order to do some avoid some community related errors, so you can just create a sample community if you face some issues. So that will give a pre-packaged set of classes or set of visual for pages or anything, right? The codings will be set of codings will be available if you register and create a sample community. So your deployment will be more easier. And this is how you will return the experience bundle. There are two ways. One is chain set. With a chain set, you can choose the site.com. That will give you the non-human readable format. And with the help of chain set, you cannot read that, right? You just move your packages from environment to environment. So while doing the version control, moreover, we will have to track whatever changes we are doing, right? So for that purpose, we will have this kind of package.xml. With chain set, we cannot get the experience bundle. With the package.xml, you are going to get the experience bundle. So your package.xml will look like site, experience bundle, and network. So moreover, this site and network are not needed for the successive deployments once you initially created it in your production. And for example, if I have my community and my package.xml will look like this. So always the experience bundle will take the community name along with one appended to it at the end. And these are the dependent community components to be added. For example, I have a Lightning component, I have a visual for page or something I have developed with separate code. I mean, embedding that code in my community, then I have to add those as a dependent component. So example like this, I have the static resource and aura, everything in my package.xml. That's how I can avoid the errors. Okay, let's see a quick demo on what the experience builder look like and administration setup, how the Salesforce community will be set up, and how to retrieve any changes, deploy the changes to the target arc. So here, this is my production. I'm going to live here, and this is my developer box. I'll be developing my changes over here. And as I said earlier, now communities, this communities and the all communities settings and everything is changed with some of the terminology like digital experience and all sites now. So in order to go to your administrative setting, like who is going to use this community, who will be the user role, and those setup will be under the administration. So to the either administration or whatever setup it is, right, we need to go to the workspace. And here's my workspace that contains administration and few other settings. We are going to see this builder and admin. Now I am in admin setup. From this admin setup, you can go to the builder anyways, or if you have some other community, you can track it from here as well. You can just jump over. I can go from the builder and see the builder like this. This is my development area. So I can just place or do any pages creation over here in your website and do the component adding to the community. So let's see the administration setup first. So once you create a community, right? So to create a community, you need to click on the new community, and that will give you the different set of templates. Pre-built templates will be there. So either you are going to use the sales or service cloud or build your own, everything will be available here, pre-built. If you're going to build your own, I don't want anything that pre-set up, right? So you can just click on build your own setup, or I'm going to choose the Salesforce tab and Salesforce, like whatever we have in the Salesforce kind of view. I need to give the same picture here. Then you can just go with Salesforce tab and Visualforce template. Okay, so these are the different templates available. Now I have chosen my build your own template. So what you can do it here, you can build your own menu or whatever pages you want, you can build your own. None of the um, background pictures or anything is available. You have to do everything on your own. And in the member setup, once you create this, so let me quickly go and show. Let me choose this. And once you choose this, you will get started. You have to give your name, community name, and you are going to have multiple communities in your org, so it's always recommended, but it's optional, but it always recommended to have some domain, some name over here, like for your community description. Say for example, my community. Okay, so or demo, something like that. So I chose demo for now, and then I gave the community name as my community, and it will look like this. Once you are done, then that's it. Your community is ready. You'll be redirected to this page, and the administration will have members settings first. In order to activate your community, you can just click activate or deactivate from here, and you will see the template over this setting as well. If you want to change your setup, like I wrongly chosen the build your own setting, I want to change this template, I can do that, but it should be at the initial phase, right? If you are done with everything, you have completed all the development and everything, I have to change the template, then it's going to be totally losing your all setup, and your template is going to be totally new, and you have to develop everything new. So we have to make sure which template we are going to do with, and fix this everything initially. And these are some preferences, like if you want to show your nickname on the top right corner of your login, and images or something, like whatever settings you want, you can give it as a preference for the community. So this is applicable for the entire community itself, this community, right? And the members. So what type of users we are going to give this access to the community, we can provide everything over here. So by default, you will have customer and partner community. If you want to specifically select the customer license, then just go with this profile. And if you anyone, like any user with this profile, right, will have access to this community. If I choose this and then make it available. And then you can also give some permission set. So in Salesforce, we have the permission set to provide some extra kind of permission for specific users. So those permission set can also be provided over here. And you can specify the default community role. For the default community role, the community user will be always the contacts. Users will be always the contacts. So our contacts account will be the owner role of this user. In order to change that, you can just choose with different custom roles over here, but only 3 set of roles: customer, partner, or employee. We cannot do our own roles over here. So these are the things. And some contributor, you can some contributors can also add it to the communities. And login and registration, you can have the branding setting for the login page for the community. You can do the brandings and everything over here, the color and image and everything. Like login page, URL, redirection. If you want default page, let it be, or you can just give your own customization pages. Like log out. Once you logged out, which URL you want to redirect it. Those kind of things will be handled over here, like all the pages and the redirection, everything will be handled in the login and registration. And what type of templates we are going to follow for the email settings, we can just give it over here, from where it should go, and the different type of template, welcome email or forget email or change password, everything will be changed from here. If you want to change the default template and you want to go with your customized template, you can choose this from here. And also the pages. So default community homepage will be default, but you can change it to experience builder. Experience builder in the sense, if you are developing something over here in the page, you can just give it there. And visual face page also. If you want to show some service not available page, and that should be a customized one, you can choose it from here. Okay, so these are the administrator setup. And so let's see a quick overview on the builder. So this is the builder will look like, and you can choose the pages from here. So let's see the home page. So home page setup will be like this. If I open, this is my community. If I go as the community URL, I will see the home page here. Whatever I set up will be shown like this. You can design your own. Just this is for a demo. And yeah, this is how we have the pages. Let's quickly have the page, other page one. I have another page. I can redirect to this page based on some point and click of things. So I'm just showing some flow over here. You can develop your own flow and then place it, embed the flow in this community. So how to embed the flow or some other components? Through components. So there will be a component option available in the left top left corner. So from here, there are some standard things available. Either you can place a dashboard or a report. You can just utilize the same. And if it is, you want to display calendar or some default functionalities, right? You can just use it. This is nothing but the rich content editor. You can add your images or something. I placed this thing over here in the home page. So I just updated it. So likewise, if you have your custom components, like or a definition bundle, right? So LWC or pages. So that will be available in the custom components. You can also place it or embed those components into your pages. So in order to update your page, you just have to choose the particular page, and the page will have some settings. Either you can do the page setting, like what is the URL should be, and whether the page is publicly accessible or whether it requires a login. Those things you need to set up through the page properties. And if you want to delete a page, you can just click on delete page and do it. Yeah, so these are the things. And if you want to change the theme, right? So I want to change the color of the community. So I want to change some colors, like text color or detail color, everything will be here. Colorings can be handled from here, and images, fonts, theme settings also available. You can just click edit CSS, and you can override the CSS as well. So in order to override some standard CSS, you can just use your own. And settings. So mainly the settings, right? For this community, what is the profile? You can just go into the settings and general. You will see the my community profile. This is the guest user profile, and you can set up like whether this community is publicly accessible or not. So everything will be available again here. Then themes, the navigation. Right now I don't have any navigation setup, but if you want to set up any navigation bar, then you can just click on menu editor and provide your own menus. So while adding your menus, there will be different types. either it can be a community page or different things over here. Either system object, Salesforce object or system link. You can give any external URL also. And the page one, that the pages that you have created, right? Either a custom page or the standard pages. And whether this is publicly available or not, and they can have some images over here to track the menu. And some advanced security kind of thing. We can have the secured tracking. Either you can block the inline script. Sometimes you might face some error because of this blocked access. So and you can just change the setting and then see whether it is good. Okay, so these are some of the basic things. So let's see how to create one page. So your page can be either a standard page or object page. I can include some of the objects that we have internally in Salesforce that can also be displayed over here, where you can see the record detail, list view, or related list separately. So in the standard page, you can create a new own blank page, or you can choose the existing ones. Okay, so let me quickly choose the new blank page, and you can choose any layout, whichever you want. I'll go with this one full width column. Give next, and then page 2. So under the API name, if you want to specifically give some API name, you can give it, or this your page name will be your API name. So everything in Salesforce handled through this API name, right? So similarly, pages will also have the API name. Okay, so here your page is ready, new page is ready, but it will be blank until you place something, right? So let me go here and choose the my aura. So if we choose this my aura, this is my aura component, lightning component. If you choose this and place it over here, just drag and drop it, and if you have any setup in your aura, it will show up here. Otherwise, let me quickly go to the page one and show you. Whatever component you have, it will show the setting over this top right corner. So if I want to choose which flow, I can choose it from here to show it. And this is some rich content editor. If you want to edit it, just click on edit content and do the edit and do the changes. So if you want to change the font from 28 to 36, that's it. So I just changed everything. Once you are done, you can just click on preview and see how your changes looks like. And then go back to the builder. And while doing the preview, you can do the different mode of preview as well, in either a desktop view or a mobile view or tablet view. So just make sure everything is looking good. And sorry. So that's it. Our community pages are set up. Now, what happens if I publish and if I don't publish, right? If your community site is in live right now, I don't want to show it to the customers till I do some testing and everything. I don't want to publish it. Once you are ready, you can go and click on publish. And whenever you are deploying, you have to publish, then only it will go into live. Okay, so okay, let's see how to retrieve it. So this is my sandbox. Let's retrieve the new page that were added. So once you develop, you don't need to publish to retrieve it. Whatever in the community you have, you can retrieve it even without publishing it. So it's in progress. Okay, it's done. So let's go into the site. Let's see how the experience bundle will look like, right? We already see that there will be different shown in your pages. Like already have something for you on this comparison. like this is my production org, page 1, and this is my development, newly done development. So this is the thing I added right now. So you will have this difference clearly mentioned over here, and you are going to make sure that this is the only part you are going to deploy right now because you have that in the production already. So this way you will be more safer instead of introducing something new, right? Any errors or anything. So it will be very easy for the developers or whoever developing it, administrator or anything. We can track it through this comparison of the code. Okay, let's see what is in the experience. So experience bundle will be in the name of experiences. So you will see the community name plus 1 appended to it. And when clicking on this community folder, community will be in the bundle folders, right? So you'll have the branding set and then config. Under the branding set, you will have the different color settings and everything. So you will be seeing over here, you can change it and according to your requirement. And the config settings are something that is some login IDs and the main app page IDs. These IDs will be referred in your pages. So this views and routes are your pages. The views, right? View is your UI. So whatever I'm seeing over here in the bundle, I mean the builder view on your page will be the views. In the views folder, you will have one JSON file, as well as in the routes, the same page. Like if you have page 1, you will have 2 files for your page 1. One is your root. Root is nothing but the custom setting for the page, like whether the page is publicly accessible or not. So whatever we seen in the properties of the page, you will have that in the routes. Okay, so this article view and app ID, everything interconnected with this view ID. Routes will have the view ID so that it will identify the particular view. So if you take page 1, the same ID, the view type will be available here, custom - page 1. This is your custom page. That's why you will have this tag, tagged to the custom hyphen your page name. And if you see the routes and the page, you will see the same route type. Okay, so these are some of the basic thing you wanted to know in the bundle. And the theme settings. What is your theme here is build your own template. So whatever template you have, you will be seeing over here. And yeah, I think most of the things are covered in the experience bundle. And if you see the sites and network setting, so these are some of the basic setup, like for your community, like what are the members, what are the profiles, and whatever we see in the administration setup will be under this network file. Okay, so let's see we saw that how to retrieve the experience bundle page that we created. That will be available under experiences and my community views, this page 1. So what we have to do, we have to go to the source folder and experiences, my community. I'm going to introduce a new page and copy the older one to share, provide the new value, right? The rich content editor. So let me quickly show the production. In production, I don't have that rich content editor, like some content over here, but I'm going to deploy it from here. Page 1 for demo. So let's see how to deploy it. Here I have done 2 changes. One is a new page and the changes in the page. For the changes in the page, I can just either go and track this particular change and update that particular change to my file, or else I just compared it already, so I just copy and then put it over here under views. Because we did only the change, it's not a new page. I'm going to replace it. And that's it. So now I'm going to copy and paste the new page. I'm going to introduce one new page with 2 different files. So I have to copy two files. One is view and also route. Okay, so let me quickly copy the view. And yeah, routes as well. Otherwise you will see the error. For page 2, I'm copying the route, the page setting. Okay, that's all. We are good to go. Before deploying production, let's make sure the validation is good and pass. Meanwhile, it is running. Let me quickly go to the folder and source folder. These are my dependent components, like whatever we are seeing over here. My ARA component, that is available as the separate folder, because these are dependent components. If I don't have this, I definitely am going to face some error. So I have to put it in my deployment, as well as the flow that I'm embedding into my community. So I added this as well. And the networks and site is only required for the first time, but there is no changes. Moreover, like if you want to deploy the changes, then it can be. Otherwise, in the successive deployments, it's not ever needed. Only experience is more than enough, along with the whatever new dependent components are there. Okay, so okay. Sorry, I was in the wrong place earlier, so that shows some error. Now it's running. Yeah, your validation is successful. Let's deploy it. Okay, good. We are done with the deployment. Let's go to the production and check it out. So this is my production community. So what happened just now, I deployed my changes to the production. This is my home page. I didn't do any change over here. Let's see page 1. I don't see the changes yet because I have to publish it. And also if you try to search for page 1, sorry, page 2, you will not see the page yet because they have not published it. So that you have to go to the builder. Before publishing, make sure we are disabling the deliverability settings. Make it no access and then keep it as a post deployment, sorry, pre-deployment activity as before publishing. And just if you will see the pages over here, it is done successfully and I'm going to publish it. So publishing is done. I'm going to change it back to all emails. This is my post deployment activity. Close it, and then now I can see my page 2. So this is my page 2 that I have introduced newly, and this is my page 1 that I have updated my changes. Yeah, here we go. So that's all about the demo that I have. Here are some of the reference link for the license types, and to know more about the experience model, you can go through this link. I'll just post it out in the YouTube, and you can just make use of it. There is also a trial mix available. You can just go through and how to customize your community. You can just have a blast over there. That's all from my end.
Wow, that
Any
was
questions
awesome.
so far?
And I definitely
Thank
love
you.
the slides. Those are very community-esque. So thank you for thinking of the audience as you were putting that together. I guess, does anyone have any questions? I haven't seen anything yet on the chat. But does anyone have any questions in regards to this? Or even Jason, I don't know if you have any experience with this, or if you have any questions by chance.
Experience with experience. No, I think this is good exposure to learn more about Experience Cloud, to get the exposure, to get experience with the experience. So I think this, this is really great demo for that, to be able to understand the process of how we have this recording for this as well, because to be able to catch things and to be able to make sure that the learning gets ingrained through repetition. But I think that this was nice for Experience Cloud, which seems to be something a lot of people are trying to get exposure to learn more about, and its capabilities. So to be able to understand this capability of Experience Bundle, to be able to bundle the metadata in a easier to manage format. Is that correct, Kamatchi? The purpose of Experience Bundle?
Yes, exactly. It will be easy for you tracking your changes, as well as more easy to development as well. Anyone can build your sites, right? It's not very hard. Yeah.
So what would be a use case for for using Experience Bundle?
So if you take some example, maybe a bank, you will have some portal, right? If you want to see your transaction and everything, you will just log into your portal and see it. So there you will be a customer. So you'll have a customer portal, and you will go and log in. You will see specific pages, whatever you have access to. Like, I'm just comparing the pages with the portal. So yeah, those things we can develop through communities, and those are some of the example use cases.
Yeah, we have to think, are they still called communities? Because there's Community Cloud is now Experience Cloud, but it's the pages. So are they called Experience Pages, so that those have new names too?
Yeah, pages is pages, right? Some of the terms we changed it like experience. Moreover, we will see everything as community page or communities even in the documentation everywhere. Now it's some places it is changed like experience. That's the difference. Yeah.
Now, do you know why the name changed from communities to experiences, or Community Cloud to Experience Cloud?
Yeah, Salesforce has made a way part for digital experience, 360-degree customer experience. That's the reason we have introduced, like Salesforce has introduced brand.
So what? So the 360 experience being a focal point, a focus. How we brought back with the use case. Tell me about that use case, bringing it together with that customer 360.
Sorry, can you come again?
So Experience Cloud is to Experience Cloud is to rebrand Community Cloud for the Customer 360. So you brought that use case up about a bank, so you can be able to see your banking information. As far as then integrating together, I guess, is there anything?
Yeah, you can also do the external integration as well. So whatever we do with the license, choosing the license part, right? We need to go with that license, exact license. If you want to integrate something, choose the license that will support integration as well. And
Okay.
API calls and everything. Yeah, that is some limitation always in Salesforce we have, right? So yeah, same thing applicable for communities as well. So I experience.
And we have a couple questions from the chat. This one's from Rudy. What about SSO for the experience site?
So SSO site settings is also available. Like in the login and registration setting, you can set up. So everything is like you are building the community, right? All the setup is available. I go and choose that particular setting and then enable it, and that will give you the access. You can use some login based or some external access like Okta login. Everything is available. You can just integrate those things into.
Okay. All right, Rudy, let us know if that answered your question. If you have any follow-ups. Brian has a question. Brian noticed that some of this was done in Classic. Is that because of preference or a lack of feature parity with LEX?
Sorry, I didn't get that question. Can I?
So some of this was done with Classic. Why was some of this done in Classic?
Whatever I showed demo, that one?
In your demo, was some of it, Brian thought, looked like some was done in Classic. Is that, was some of it done in Classic, or it's just the way it looks in Lightning?
Yeah, you can, it's about the template that we chose. You can also show the Salesforce Classic view or your own experience, right? Even the predefined templates, or you build your own experience or choose the Classic view. Yeah. It's about the template we chose.
Okay, so it's just preference then about what experience you're trying to present. It's the same for and Rudy then has, I don't know if this follow-up question is the same for internal and customer experience. Is that the question? Is it the same for internal and customer experience? So is it the same for internal and customer experience?
So yeah, we can do it for employer or a customer. So it's again the license, right? How about you're choosing external app license or the customer community plus or customer community login license or user-based license or partner community license. So it depends. Yeah. So more collaboration between customers and employees can also be integrated in communities.
Great, excellent. All right, the great answers, great questions. Any other questions? Any other thoughts on your side? Kamatchi, thank you so much. So for any questions, if people have later follow-up questions, what's the best way to contact you? Are you on the Twitter, the LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'm in LinkedIn and Twitter. You can contact me in any place. Yeah.
Thanks, Kamatchi.
Yeah, we actually we already got one question from actually it was from Rudy as well. Ended up sending me an email, and I included Kamatchi in that in regards to flows and experience and all that. So, hey,
that's great.
Awesome. Well, if there are no other questions, we can actually kick off the game, Kahoot. And there we go, share screen. So I was looking for the screen share over here. Let's see here. One is the YouTube one. There we go. Can everyone see well, essentially end up seeing the YouTube screen of yourselves and myself? So as I mentioned in the chat earlier here, we're going to end up going to Kahoot, and then we will be using this pin here. So how you essentially do that is simply just type in KAHOOT.IT and press enter. It'll then come up with this screen here. What you're going to want to do is essentially take this pin, which is 26621110, and then you're going to press enter. And once you do that, again, excuse me, that was the reason why I was on mute. And away from the video most of the time. I'm still getting over this sickness that I have. Yeah, you go there, you go to the Kahoot.it, you enter in this pin, and then at that point, you will essentially be loaded into here. The good news is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like we have 6 out of the 11 viewers. 10 viewers now. So as soon as we get a few more of y'all in here and get that closer to being 10 out of 10, I will.
Well, I'm one of the viewers, so 9 out of 10 is fine.
and start the game. In the meantime, we're waiting for another potential 3 more players to go and play. We have this video in the background that Salesforce flew out to LA for, and essentially it's about how to build an app in about 90 minutes to actually keep track of a race team. Goes back to kind of, when we were meeting with Vlad earlier, we were talking about how, you really just want to go in several different ways to actually gain experience. One of them that I found was extremely useful, which is, again, why this video is kind of think about things that you're doing in your life, whether it's managing a race team, or say you're starting a trucking company and you want to keep track of your vehicles and your drivers, or maybe your kid's softball team or football team or something. Salesforce, once you understand the tools there, can truly be used to build out pretty much an app for anything as far as keeping track of even your own life, your own personal life, and making things more efficient. So yeah, you just start off with a free developer org, you get 2 licenses, and it's a great way to go and earn experience. So it looks like we're here at 7 players. Let's make sure no one had any. No issues there. So yeah, let's go ahead and press start here. And off to lightning trivia we go for the Phoenix Salesforce Admin User Group of today. So this first one of 15 is true or false. You can easily deploy a deactivated community. True or false?
And here, to save your voice, Don, I'll go ahead and read the questions.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No thanks necessary. Save your voice. Ooh. So false. You cannot easily deploy a deactivated community. Tricky stuff. Ooh. All right, look at that. All right, so we got GK Tayo and Richa are on the leaderboard. Ira and Rudy, they're giving a gimme on the they're on the leaderboard too. All right, question 2. What is the metadata name for the experience bundle?
This is FYI, if you were talking, you're on mute, man.
Thank you, Don. Yes. Just commenting how that was a little bit of a tricky question. Fortunately, no one chose Hyperforce. But yeah, Experience Cloud it's almost a partial right answer because it's within Experience. Experience Cloud is where it's all at. Experience Bundle is the API name. Is the metadata name for Experience Bundle. Oh, all right. Richard takes the lead. Bill is on the board. Dun, dun, dun. All right, still anyone's game. Which 2 folders will have the same JSON files? Ooh, views and routes. All right, so yeah, that was tricky. That was tricky between those 2. No one chose the other. And people are good test takers, and they were able to eliminate the other wrong answers. So views and routes, the same JSON files. Oh boy. All right, the leaderboard is filling up. Wow, new lead taken by Tayo. Still anyone's game. It's all 1-2 questions away. Exciting stuff. True or false? For successive deployments, I need custom site metadata in package.xml.
I feel like one of these is a good 50-50 question.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. Right answer is taking a bit more on that one. Good job, everyone. That was false. You don't need custom site data, metadata in package.xml. Oh boy, Brandon's now taking the lead. Oh boy, Rudy's going up there. Bill N's going up there. Oh boy, this is tight. This tight race. True or false? We can easily assign profiles and permission sets to the community through Experience Bundle metadata. Ooh. Seems like it was something on the app builder. Could be on the app builder exam. False. False. Yeah, so that's right from the app builder exam. Permission sets and profiles cannot be
Through
bundled
network
together.
files, right? Yeah, this is somehow tricky question.
Other metadata you can, but that you cannot. Ooh, Rudy's on fire. 3 in a row. Whoa.
Yeah,
Look
we
out.
can, but it's, I mean, network file metadata, not experience bundle.
So there you go. Network file, not experience bundle. Thank you, Kamatchi. What is the metadata component name through which we can assign a profile to a community? Network. So there we go. Experience bundle. See, it's tricky. Yeah, it was the right metadata name, but it's for not assigning profile to a community. Ooh, Rudy's still on fire, but Brandon's on Inferno. Bigger fire. We can add branding settings like color changes through Experience Bundle metadata. Correct. All right. Good job, everyone. 100%. So just a matter of, okay, everyone's staying in the same place with that. Everyone's about at the same speed. You are quite the community. So I guess that's good. True or false? The global header can easily be enabled to all organizations by default. Wow. Okay, so Rudy's golden rule is pretty golden with that one. It's easily most likely false. All right, that keeps Rudy on the board, but Brandon's just a bit ahead, actually like 1,000 ahead, but still, we're only at, we still have 6 more questions to go. Anyone's game. Dun, 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 dun. True or false? We can easily make an external community user a community manager. Easily? All right, there we go. Easily is easily an easy answer. All right. Ooh, Bill's now on the board. Ooh, wow, Rudy's catching up big time with that quick golden finger. All right, which energy source is derived from the sun? Okay, now we're going from the experience bundle to the solar bundle questions. Which energy source is derived from the sun? And I like the images right here. This one right here showing how, and just like, you know, there you can see the Earth glowing from the sun's reflection. Just like when you see the moon doesn't actually radiate any light. It's actually reflecting from the sun. Ha ha! Ooh, one person's smart. So actually, all derived from the sun, oil, fossil, natural gas or fossil gas, coal, is actually gets their energy originally from the sun because it's fossil fuels. Fossils of what? Plants, and plants make energy from the sun during photosynthesis. But if they are fossilized during the photosynthesis process, they still store that energy and then can become condensed into oil, or coal or gas. And then that is like super condensed energy that can then be burned and released. So it's all derived from the sun. Haha, I would have put wind in there as well because wind also is, it's more passive because it's the changing of high and low temperature air pressure, which is also heat, but that's more of a passive. This is more direct, all solar energy, just either captured or direct from the source. Aha, you thought this would be easy.
That is definitely true. And I actually had to go and look at this myself because I wasn't aware of that when I was putting these questions in here.
Science. If you're interested for more science, stay tuned next month. We're going to go on to scientific methods. Ooh, Richa, all right. Good job. Richard the scientist. Which is the sunniest state in the USA? I like this picture right here also because it's small states. Ooh, So yeah, this is funny. I'm from Florida. And although Florida calls itself the Sunshine State, that name is a tourist trap. There's many other tourist traps in Florida, so beware of whatever roadside attractions you see. It rains every day, almost every day in Florida, just for an hour or so. But Arizona is actually, yeah, the state with the most sunshine. Alaska, I thought might have been a tricky answer because although it's very cold, they do have times of the year in the summer where it's just always sunlight. But even with that in consideration, Arizona gets the most hours of sunshine throughout the year.
And also for those of y'all that are for the person that chose California, although I would have said that just, well, out of spite, and it being the Golden State, which yes, the Warriors are winning right now over the Magic. I unfortunately it is Arizona. So Golden State.
It's the Golden State for gold, not for golden sunshine.
No, it's the Golden State Warriors, my man.
Right, but the Golden State, but that's why it's the Golden State for gold. People went to California for gold. That's why you have the 49ers.
There we go. That's very true as well.
Okay. Which is the sunniest city in the USA? So now we're going to get a bit more localized. So we know Arizona is the sunniest state. So which city in AZ? Yeah. Richard made a comment. Thought Florida was called the Sunshine State. Florida is called the Sunshine State, but it's that name is a tourist trap. Like I said, because it's by the coast. Actually, Florida does have the best air quality in the United States because it's a peninsula, so it's like having a cross breeze. But because it's so close to the coast, because it's so close. Ooh, Yuma, very good, very good. Phoenix is actually it's number 2. So Yuma is number 1, Phoenix is number 2, Tucson is number 6. Flagstaff is, just threw that out there.
So here's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you know, are there many like actual solar farms out there in Yuma then?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if anyone actually like took advantage of that as a business and decided to create anything like that out there.
Ooh, all right. All right, Rich is really moving back up there. See, here we go. This is like round 2. All right, everybody got to warm up those solar fingers. How could global warming currently affect Phoenicians? So Phoenicians, for those who don't know who are, tuning in from out of town, that's we're Phoenicians in Phoenix. So very good. Yeah. All right. You guys have good quiz hats. But that was, so not only does Phoenix have that, but it also has the school sustainability here that talks about for global warming, instead of talking about polar bears or future generations, here and now, what are its current effects? So rising heat, record-breaking heat year after year, planes were grounded a couple of years ago, and drought as well from the heat, and then air quality, which is a change to its climate. Arizona people used to come to Phoenix for the great air quality. It's one of the 5 C's of Arizona. 5 C's, you have cotton, citrus, climate, copper, and what's the 5th C? Climate's one of them. So people used to come here for the good climate, but it's been developed a lot. Community cloud, yes. And community. Actually, no, but not cloud. There are no clouds. Just community.
And that for anyone who is out of state or not here in Phoenix, and so that is why it is February 11th, and it was a high of 75 today.
Yep. So this is the good time of year to be here. Otherwise, our summer or like our winters to bear in. Okay. All right, so yeah, everyone got that. Everyone's moving up. Okay, we'll see if this next one's a bit more challenging. Where can solar be safely installed? On a house, on a farm, parking lot, van, Cybertruck, park, all of the above. Cattle. Oh, Brian came back in with that comment. Yes, cattle is the 5th C of the 5 Cs of Arizona. Cattle, copper, cotton, citrus, climate. Bingo. Very good. Brian gets the extra credit for Arizona geography. Very good. Yeah. So there you go. Not just on a house and a farm, but also you can have a mobile solar. It doesn't have to plug into anything. You just get your power and you could charge your truck, van. You could have solar shading for a parking lot and a park. And yeah, so it's cool solar. It's very practical. That's what I think is so cool about it. You can use it for shade as well as being off the grid.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things, as soon as Eon actually makes my truck, one of the things I'm extremely excited about is going off-roading, say Flagstaff, Sedona, and actually, granted, it'll be minimal, at least to begin with, getting some of that quote-unquote fuel or energy put back into the truck to help me get back home.
Yeah, and we're talking about the like Salesforce military. This is a huge research and investment for the military also to be able to have more independence for different military bases to be able to be off the grid and be more independent of energy in order to be less
very true. There's a lot
vulnerable.
of base housing in different units that are ran off of solar. That is correct.
Okay. Wow. All right. Reach is the only one with a streak right there. Very good. Oh boy, this is tight. All right, but Brandon's still #1.
And now we're off to our last question.
Last question. Here we go. It's for all the solar. In Arizona, who determines energy rates? So let's see if Brian knows this. He talked about he knows the 5th C of Arizona. Let's see if he also knows this area of, if he knows geography, let's see if he also knows government. Wow. All right. Very good. Very good. A lot of people know Arizona government. Yeah. So in the Constitution of Arizona, it's a 4th branch of government. Arizona has 4 branches of government in its constitution because it was founded Arizona is the 48th state. It was founded at the time of railroads, and to prevent railroad monopolies, there was a 4th branch of government, the Arizona Corporation Commission, to oversee utilities and monopolies such as railroads. And so they oversee utility companies and they permit rate increases as well as the rate programs that solar homeowners could be able to earn credits for. So something to know about for Arizona government. All right. So Richard, there you go. It's #3 on the board. Rudy's #2, and then #1. Drum roll, Brandon! All right, congratulations. Excellent. Brandon, Rudy, and Richard, very good, very good. It's been a good game. All right, Brian and Doug, runner-ups. Very good. You get some recognition right there. APS according to my price hikes. Very good note, Brian. Yes, well, so APS, they have to get approval for those price hikes from the Corporation Commission. So if you don't like your APS rate hikes, you have to talk to your corporation commission. SRP is a whole different, it's almost a different ball game. Technically, like SRP is its own other separate territory, but they can be regulated if then there's changes made in the legislature. It's complicated, but the Corporation Commission could regulate it.
Outstanding. Well, thank you all. I will actually put my email address back into the chat. So if you are on the top 5 in the podium, please make sure that you send me an email, and I will happily work to get you some swag out. And for those of y'all that didn't, thank you very much for coming and participating in this evening's events. We are very excited to meet with you next month. And Jason, just one more time, what is that we're covering again?
Yes. So next month for March, it's going to be March methods, because we don't want to go mad over here. We want to have a pragmatic solutions to save our madness. So March methods, we're going to go over how you can use the scientific method to analyze and experiment for solutions for success, and my method for getting my job in Salesforce. So how to network to get work.
Outstanding. Yes, again, thank you, everyone. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Till next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.